Welcome to Reread. Today I got 3 Marvel comic books I want to go over today. It's 65, 66, and 67. Let's do this. In 65, Luke is on a mission where his X-Wing Luke and Leia are on a mission and Leia's X-Wing explodes. Oh no, but it's okay because Leia has a jetpack. It was all part of the plan to fake the explosion of the X-Wing so she could fly down, jetpack down to this base, karate kid, judo slam, stormtrooper. She's just tearing through them. All of a sudden, she's this awesome secret agent here. And then basically, she sets the base to explode, and it gets carried off by an X-Wing with a grappling hook, flies off, then jumps into the, Y-Wing, not X-Wing. Flies off in the Y-Wing, and then they all escape the planet. Really cool stuff. The recently demoted lieutenant comes out as they're all flying away, and he shoots with the pistol the X-Wing, fighter. He goes, well, he said, I know that didn't do much good, but it made me feel better. And Leia's like, damage report, Luke. He's like, it's okay, it's a blaster shot. It's not going to hurt me. But as they all jump to hyperspace, Luke can't because it seems like the lieutenant blasted his hyperdrive unit. Just happened to nick it just good. So now he's surrounded by TIE fighters. Oh no, what's he going to do? And this is the lead into the next issue where all he does is go down to the nearest planet and just kind of hang out with some aliens who take him to their fortress, who show him how strong they are, who says, hey, yeah, well, they're not aliens, they're humans, but they're fighting these aliens on the same planet. They tell them about their problems, whatever the problem is. I think it's a fight over water or something, even though it didn't look like a desert planet. Anyway, these spores come in and knock everyone out, but Luke can hear the spores talking to him. And then the aliens come, they capture the girl that Luke was talking to, who's basically the leader of the humans. And so Luke goes to rescue the girl. He befriends the spores, which is like a gaseous spore thing. They said, hey, sorry about what we did. We're just doing our job and knocking people out. And they just they just put us into a cannon and fired us over your walls. We're not really bad. So Luke uses them to basically take out the bad guys, the aliens. And then he frees the girl, brings her back, and there's this big long drought for years, I guess. So the spores go, oh, we'll make it rain. And so they make it rain. Everyone's like, yay, rain for the first time in years. Now we don't need water or whatever. And then Luke, ready for this? Remember, he's being pursued. TIE fighters are still looking for him. He hops in his X-Wing and flies off. Says, good luck, everyone. You're like, wait, weren't you on the run from the Empire? I think the writer kind of forgot that. Like he forgot, this is what happens when you hand off a story, or maybe when they're really getting to the story of Luke on the planet. He forgot that Luke is running away from the Empire. And I look, there is nothing that explains why the Empire has suddenly gone away. Yeah, maybe Luke's been on there for a couple of days or a week or so. But surely TIE fighters know he went down the planet. They'd be scouring it, probably calling for backup. But obviously the writer just forgot the whole purpose of why Luke was there. So just shoots him off on the X-Wing like Luke did another good job for the Rebel Alliance and moves on his way. I was like, okay, man. Now, number 67 is kind of like the prelude to the next big story arc. Luke, Lando, and Leia are all, this is quickly at the very beginning, they're all discussing how they think Boba Fett has an accomplice. And if they find the accomplice, then they can find out where Boba Fett is hiding, Han Solo. Or where is he going to meet Jabba to make the transfer to Han Solo? And they've marked it down to Dengar, who they say is a cyborg. Then IG-88 and Bossk, who obviously didn't die in his short story. He's still alive. Now, this IG-88 unit is one of the A, B, C, D, E, D maybe. I don't know. Let's say B and C died in Battle of the Bounty Hunters. So it's one of the last ones left. I know Kevin Janderson did this on purpose because he knew IG-88 would survive in the Marvel comic book. So he made another, that's why he made 4 units. So I get all that, but I'm guessing at this point, Bossk just never died. He found a way out from being skinned alive, which I'm fine with. I don't really care about that. Anyway, the focus of the story isn't on them, but rather 3PO and Chewbacca in a Hujeep. They go into this cave, and there's a force field there where they all go through the force field, find this big city, that's been hiding underneath the caverns, and it's guarded by someone called the Darker. And the Darker can bring out your fears, your anger, your hate, and whatever. He can control emotions is what he does. So when the Hujis run for help, he instills great fear in them. And he's all spooky, looking like a reptilian with a second body of smaller, T-Rex arms on his rib cage. It's kind of creepy. He just kind of floats in the air too. And then for Chewbacca, he has unbridled anger. And so Chewbacca turns on 3PO and goes, "Rah!" And 3PO is like, "We're doomed." And then he thinks about it and goes, "I'm doomed," which is kind of funny. And I see this playing like a kind of a classic Droids comic book or cartoon, because it's 3PO trying to save the day. When Chewbacca finally captures it, because he's trying to maybe read a spell. He goes to the library and tries to read a spell that will undo the hate that has been instilled from the Darker on Chewbacca, and he realizes that he's been reading a cookbook. It's funny, I get it. Well, when Chewie does catch up with him, 3PO goes, "Remember, we're doing this for Han. Don't forget about Han Solo." And of course, his love for Han Solo triggers and breaks through any anger Chewie would have. So he kind of breaks through, and the Darker is interested. So he makes him think fear or whatever, terror. And he's trying to wear down the Wookiee, but Chewbacca just keeps thinking of Han, and that's going to keep him safe. And he gets closer. He's walking closer and closer. It shows a mind beam getting hit at Chewbacca, and when he gets right next to the Darker, this is where it gets weird. He punches him in the stomach, and maybe grabs him because he punches it, goes through his stomach, grabs him through his stomach, and throws him at the energy shield. That destroys him, and eventually destroys the entire city as they barely make it out. Okay, it sounds really hokey, and it is really hokey, because at the end, Luke goes, "There you are, 3PO." He's like, "Oh, Master Luke, I can't wait to tell you where we've been." He's like, "You can tell me about your vacation later. We've got work to do. Come on, suit up." And 3PO's like, "Vacation? Really?" It's fun. It's really fun. R2-D2 is in it. That's who they're looking for. I think they're looking for R2 because he's dismantled. When they come across the city, they see him dismantled. And so they're saving R2. I think that's the whole reason they went to the caves in the first place. But it's actually a pretty fun story. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. See you next time.